Okay, so I am not awake. I'm not dressed. My cat bit me on the back of my arm and made me bleed to wake me up. And I got this fool that is lighting up my messenger like crazy. So we're going to play. We're going to play with this guy. I already told him. Let's see if I can pull it up because I'm not technologically advanced. I'm pretty technologically retarded when it comes to some things. So this fool is lighting me up. He is lighting me up, trying to talk to me. He asked me if I had ever had an online relationship with a man. Hey, Saturn. And I said, no, I had not had an online relationship. I said, I usually don't talk to strangers. So let's play. I don't know what persona I am going to, hey, Bluebell, that I'm going to put on this morning. I'm tempted to do Judy Gemstone again, but I'm afraid that would be too intense and too crazy for this guy. Okay, that's good. Okay, let me read you my conversation so far. I got to answer him. He's got a very generic name. Okay, it says, how are you? I said, I am fine. How are you? He said, he said, I am doing good. Thanks for asking. Where are you from? The US. I am from Germany, Berlin, but currently working in Norway for the US military government as a doctor. And you? So I deflected. I said, I lived in Germany for some years. He said, wow, that's nice. Are you married with kids, widowed with grown kids? So I lied about that. I don't want him to know I'm married. I'm a single father with one lovely daughter, Kim. She's 10 years old. Have you met an online man before? No, I usually don't talk to strangers. Okay, that's good. Getting to know more about you should not be a problem. To be honest with you, I'm much interested in happy spending time with a beautiful woman like you. You look sweet, and I feel safe talking to you. He don't know what he found, did he? Oh yeah, I I can't stand that they use U.S. military. My husband is retired military. When I met him, he was with the oh, the girls are sagging hard this morning. Um, when I met him, he was in the military. So I take it seriously when these guys lie about this shit. It's you have them at well, I have them where they can't hit me up on Twitter. They can add me all day long, but they can't. I was hoping this would be Paul Stanley because the Paul Stanley ones make me laugh the hardest. They're all the same. I got to tell you about those in a minute. Okay. Yes, I am retired and living overseas. I should start talking and yes, they are the scum of the earth. Oh, Saturn, good. Um, these people are the scum of the earth. You were right, Bluebell, which is why I torture them. I used to be part of 419 Eater, where we did massive baits, where we took these guys and we made them chase us across Africa and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And no, we don't. I don't do that anymore because it makes my husband uncomfortable. So I content myself with messing with the romance scammers, putting on a fake persona, making them jump through 50 trillion hoops before I tell them off, and then expose them. Tell them that I put them on 419 Eater, which I do. I put them in the romance section. How long have you been chatting on Facebook? I have had Facebook for 12 years now, but use it to keep up with family. That's not a lie. That's basically what I use Facebook for, because Facebook is a free floating sea of these jerks. Tamara, I would love to still be doing the active baits. That was the most fun. Oh my goodness. My favorite baiting persona was Sister Suzanne Fleesom. And I would have an elaborate um, con going with that. I had set up a phone number with a message and the whole 9 yards, and pretended to be a Catholic nun about to give away a giant pile of money. That was useful if you were trying to do a safari, which is basically you get them to try and chase you all over sub-Saharan Africa. You make them spend money to try and get to you. Wow, that's nice. I'm new here. I was looking for an old friend when I came across your profile. I believe getting to know you will be great. Oh my God, this guy's really full of it. Now, what should I say? Okay, but I travel a lot. In my dreams, I travel a lot. The only traveling I do here is to the damn grocery store. Like I'm getting ready to go to Costco after I finish toying with this guy. If I can get my stomach to calm down. Hey, Sandy, we are torturing in Nigeria and we're preparing to. I'm getting ready to. I think I'm going to put on the persona of the most clueless grandmother on the planet. What'll happen is he's going to try to be more and more fresh with me, and I'm going to tell him he's being fresh and tell him that, oh my goodness, he just on and just take it from there. What do you do for a living? Okay, dude, I just told you I was retired. I am retired. I just told him I was retired less than a minute. So that tells me he's got multiple women he's talking to. When they start mixing up details between you and other women, you know damn good and well you're not the only one they're talking to. I came back quick. I'm a doctor. Okay, so what type of doctor? I have a bunch of doctors. You look sweet and beautiful. How old are you? A lady never tells. Oh, this is going to be a ladylike one, and I am not ladylike, so this is going to be a challenge. This is one of those things that my husband and I, we have kind of fussed about. And I did. I was starting to ask him, as I'm asking him what kind of doctor he is. Like, I have multiple doctors that I have to see every month, which is sort of kind of almost true. I only see one doctor a month, and my little baby doctor, I call him because he's the baby brother of my neurologist, and he turned into an awesome doctor. I remember when they first brought him on and he was straight out of medical school. I was like, you look like you should be singing in some boy band, not doctoring. And he's turned into one of the best doctors I've ever seen. He's one of the few people that can get an IV in me first time because I've deep rolling veins that collapse. And I have oodles of scar tissue because I had cancer several times. I've had chemo and various things. It tends to screw up your veins. Oh, Tracy, we are getting ready to torture this guy. I'm a general doctor working in many part of the body. I'm the leader of my team here in Norway. Okay, that is suspicious. You're not a specialist? You're not a specialist. I see a neurologist, a hematologist, and others monthly. He's a general doctor, but he is a leader in his doctoring field. Oh my, oh my. He is he's really full of the BS this morning, isn't he? He tried to PM me at what would have been, what time is it now? It would have been 3 a.m. 3 a.m. And I went off on him this morning when I first got up because I didn't sleep well last night. My stomach is messed up again. And I'm like going, is this going to be a problem? Because I'm supposed to be flying in less than a month to my daughter's wedding. And I don't want this to be a problem. And I've had nothing but problems since January with my stupid health. So I'm gonna put his knowledge through the ringer here very shortly. I'm 50 years old. I'm 50 years old. Laugh out loud. I am a bit older. My late husband is retired military. You know, I don't think we have U.S. military wherever it is he's claiming to be. Norway. I don't think we have U.S. military there. I'm a fun-loving person. I am very caring and sensitive person. I am a level-headed, down-to-earth person who is totally devoted to the one I love. I need to be shy at first, but I will open up quickly for the right woman. I'm confident, calm, and happy, and an introvert by nature. I am quiet, structured, and organized. I think I'm pretty easygoing person. I love to show affection and don't have any problem whatsoever showing the right person lots of it. I always say if it's better to give than to receive. I think that I have a pretty strange sense of humor at time. Now he's telling me that age is just a number after I told him I was quite a bit older than him. So I am introverted, and COVID means I stay behind the gates my estate. It is not an estate. We sit on an acre that's got a fence and have a guest house. It's just a bigger house. He wants me. Yes, he does. He is about to. I'm about to flip. I think that I'm going to tell him I'm a nymphomaniac and a bunch of other crazy stuff just for the hell of it and see what he says. I'm going to tell him I have a little secret to confess and then tell him that I have tell him I have VID. And then give him a whole lot of different answers in different voices. Let's have some fun with this quote doctor. I do have a few little problems. I have okay. I just told him I had all these mental problems. Okay, I'm looking for that equal that really wants to be in a devoted relationship. You are a woman who has a warm heart, affectionate, sense of humor, intelligent, sexy, one who loves life and wants to live it to the fullest. Knitter, did you just see that I said that I stay home all the time because of COVID? I wish to find someone that shares the same ideals I do. I seek the one woman who will fill my daily thoughts with a burning desire to see her and be with her. Yeah, he's a crazy live one. And the thing is, he's cut and pasted these things in, I'm sure. And here's the crazy thing. He's got everything spelled correctly. He even has punctuation in the correct places. But a lot of that last rant, it was every other word was like capitalized. And I'm looking at this going, what the hell, dude? That's not how you do this. Well, I told him I had, and I gave him a whole long list of mental issues, including narcissistic personality disorder. So we'll see what he comes back with. He loved how we are on the same wavelength. Yeah. These guys are scumballs. I'm drinking my coffee, my iced coffee that I have every morning because I don't like boiling to death here. It's always hot. Let's see. He hasn't come back since I told him I had all these mental issues. And what happened? I am fine if I take my medicines. So I'll throw that out there and see what happens. If you can throw them off the script, To me, that's the most fun because most of them are operating from a cut and paste script. They'll tell you how beautiful you are, how much they love you, how they think you're the one. You know, if this was a real kind of relationship thing going on, if this was a real guy coming at me, I'd be screaming psycho and running away because guys don't say this shit right away unless they want something. Now that something could be something entirely different, but these guys just want money, 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 money. So let's see how long it takes him to try and push me to one of the things, I can't think, the Google thing that they all want to get on. There's a reason they all try to push you to the Google app is because if they can get you on WhatsApp or push you to Google, there is no oversight. You can't say, hey, Google, this is a scammer. Whereas in Facebook, you say, hey, Facebook, this is a scammer. Hey, Twitter. And sometimes they'll zap them, but not most of the time. Okay, I've thrown him. He's not answering back very quickly. I overplayed my hand too quickly. Okay, he's going through and liking all my shit. So he should see my rant about Nigerian scammers and how I torture them. Not really an estate, Tracy. I have a big house here. We have a guest house. I have an acre of land and we have a 12-foot high fence. All that came. We got a bargain. We bought our house. It had gone down to about 50% of value and they were just wanting to unload it. We walked in. They had multiple offers on the place. We were the only people that had cash. And say, hey, we got cash. And so they cut us a deal. We got it real cheap. And then we put in a pool and a hot tub. And it is re-landscaped. And it's an ongoing work in progress. I love our little place, but it's twice the size of my house in Virginia. I had a little small 1,600 square feet not Rambler, what am I saying? Cape Cod. And I loved my house in Virginia, but this one, a little more spread out. I can actually have a sewing room. Okay. He's okay. Are you on Google Chat? Oh, no. I was going to try to push me already. What is Google Chat? This one may be a short one. I'm going to have to save this one, though. If he is looking at my profile and he's looking at all this, I don't know how on earth he managed to miss my posting about Nigerian scammers on Facebook, where I used a picture of Client Smith, the same guy I used for this one, because it's just such a stupid name. Yeah. Oh, damn it. I'm not going on Google Chat with him. That is just not happening because that is definitely the playground of these guys. Let me see what Google Chat. Okay. This is something interesting. Here is somebody from Google saying that anybody that tells you that they are a soldier and that they are in Nigeria, they are clearly a scammer. When that prematurely ended my games with people, I just quit replying to messages. Scammers kept hitting me up on Words with Friends, so I cut and pasted their script. I'm in Nigerian cash. I wonder what would happen if I got inappropriately flirty with these guys. One time I told one of them I was naked. Asked what I was wearing, and I said, I'm naked, which clearly I'm not naked. I'm in my nightgown. Most of the time when these guys hit me up, it's early morning late. And I'm one of these people, I tend to put around forever in my nightgown before I get dressed. So, because my husband's like, are you going to put clothes on? I'm like, I got clothes on. I got clothes enough on. You know, you can't see anything. But Ooh, hair. Blech. So he hasn't answered. He must have figured out I was more trouble than worth. Well, I learned something. You can't use the mental health diagnosis. And for me to give him all these diagnosis streams with not the names, but with the acronyms, and he had no clue what those were. Had a guy reply to all of my replies on a YouTube channel. He kept trying to Google chat or text. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. Okay, let me look and see. The other thing is I usually bust them and tell them, okay, are U.S. soldiers in Sweden? I don't think there would be any in Sweden. Okay, there was a special operation, special forces exercise winter combat a year ago, but that is it. That's it. Okay, yeah, I figured that wouldn't even be that. Had a guy reply, yeah, so let's see. What did this fool say this time? Oh, he sent me a link to it. Tap on the link and download the Google chat. I don't know. I hear there are bad people on Google chat that will try to rob you of your money. Let's see what he says. To me, this is much fun. This is not fun that he actually tried to go there that quickly. I like to toy with them at least a half hour to an hour. And then when they say that, that's when I just boot them straight up. And my eyes are all swollen. It would be more fun if he would actually reply back with his cut and paste declarations of love. He's looking for a life partner, and I'm telling him all about my medical problems. So, some doctor he is, a doctor. Alex Lucas. And I just told him that bad people hang out there and try to take your money. So let's see what he has to say about that. These guys, no, I don't do that. That's what his response is. No, I don't do that. I'm not a bad person. But I am scared. Let's see what he comes back with. Tracy, it's kind of funny. I have a picture of myself now on Facebook where I have my hair pulled back in a hairband. I close up of my face, wrinkles and all, wrinkles, odd hairs, the whole 9 yards. And you can see my paintings behind me, and I'm doing like this. So it's not the most attractive picture of me. I put that one up the other day just to see if it would affect the Nigerian scammers. And sure enough, the second I put the picture up, they started flooding in. No need to be scared. Okay. Well, just download it, okay? Here's the thing. My son does all the downloading and fixing my computer, and I don't dare do it without him here. I know nothing about this stuff. Terry in Sweden? You are no doctor. You are clearly just another Nigerian romance scammer. Congratulations. $419. I'm telling him, congratulations. I'm going to add you to the 419 eater roster of fakers to avoid. Have a nice life. So I just told him there's no U.S. military in Sweden. There hasn't been for well over a year when they did some type of winter maneuvers up there. You're probably smart to not do social media. I only do social media. I only do Facebook because I have friends and family. Okay. So my Facebook list is pretty tightly controlled. I know before I ever add these guys that they are scammers. Okay, and he's not answering back. Block on Facebook. So I'm just going to block him. We have reached the end with this guy. He was quick. He was quick. And I'm going to post his responses and some screen caps, I think, of all this. And he doesn't know this. I've already taken a screen cap of everything about his profile. These guys always put Nigerian likes on there. If they wouldn't do that, if they would not put that their favorite band is some band in Nigeria, that their favorite happening is this, and they're going to this Nigerian festival, if they wouldn't put that crap and just stuck American things on there, nobody would ever pick up except by the names. Sometimes they bobbled names. This guy was Alex Lucas, not incredibly. I need to start back on my alt account. I used to love waste these guys' time. Amber, the only problem is, as you can see, they're getting faster and faster to get to where they want to go. And if you're not receptive or you start, yeah, and that's the thing they do. They target you if you're of a certain age. And I'm of that certain age where I'm actually retired now, except for, fiddling around on this thing. And this is a hobby because during COVID, you can't see your friends. You can't do anywhere. I've only in the last month started going out to the beach bars because you're on the beach and they've already said that, being outside in the fresh air, COVID doesn't spread easily. I'm wondering if maybe, hard to believe people fall for this. Exactly. And Dr. Phil has been doing, I don't like Dr. Phil. I got to throw it out there. I think he is a bloviating guy, but sometimes I like his shows. Sometimes he manages to get it right. Lately, he has been on just a binge of these Nigerian romance scammers and bringing women to them and making them face the fact that they're talking to some guy from Africa who wants their money. I used to take my shenanigans too far for a good cause. I've taken them too far too, but now I'm one of those people where I just cut them off. When they start wanting me to go to another messaging app, that's it. I won't do it. I'm still waiting for the Dr. Show episode, Dr. Phil's show about KJ. Java Man, that will never happen. I've got to say this. I turned her in 3 times to Dr. Phil, wrote, copious things and said, you got to look at this. You got to look at this crazy ass woman. And I know I'm not the only one. I've talked to others who said they did the same thing. So here we go. We all turned her in. The Dr. Phil show producers called her and tried to get her to come on show, and she refused. So you can't do that. Now, this 7M controversy is something that's right up Dr. Phil's alley. So I'm wondering if we're going to see 7M on there and they're going to talk about her. And Dr. Phil's going to say, we reached out to Without a Crystal Ball and she refused our show. I would pay to see KJ on his show, though. She needs a call back to the real world. Dr. Grande should do an episode about it. Yeah, he should. Um, but here's the thing, you can't force her to go, sadly enough. I wish we could, because that would certainly be an interesting. But I'm afraid it would be like, are any of you afraid? Any of you remember? Oh, what is her name? Truthfully, Trish. She's a YouTuber that live streams for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. I mean, her entire life. I don't think there's anything that she's not live streamed. And she was on the Dr. Phil show, and I never laughed so hard at somebody who was crazy in my entire life, because there's something not right here. But she really pissed me off because she, quote, had an anaphylaxis reaction to black pepper on pizza, and she was faking it. Now, the other day, I saw somebody that talked about an anaphylactic reaction they had to popsicles. It's a scary thing. And that girl had what I would call a very mild anaphylactic reaction. This gal didn't have it at all. She just completely faked it. Perry, I think that she knows that Dr. Phil would tear her ass up. We know that. He would tell her how delusional she is. Truthfully, Trish is still up to the same shenanigans. I saw that she was recently, and I saw that she lost weight and dyed her hair blonde, and it was just like, what the heck? Yeah, she faked it in the most horrible, obvious way. Yes. Chris Elfan, he started trying to push me to Google Chat, so and he started not being much fun, so I just busted him and said, A, you're not in Sweden like you're claiming. B, you're not from Berlin like you're claiming. I started, getting drunk and naked in her lives and all, a mess. Exactly. I would watch a KJ episode too. In fact, I wouldn't doubt if he called some of us to be on it. And it would be fun to go on there and say, no, this woman is nuts and this is why. The Truthfully Trish episode, I encourage you to go back and watch it if you haven't seen it, because she did horribly fake an anaphylactic reaction. Like I said, anaphylaxis is a scary ass thing. I used to have it all the time. That's how they finally figured out I wasn't having regular asthma. I was having mast cell. That and a mast cell tumor they removed, and they were able to actually get the diagnosis that way too. And my crazy labs. In those days, when I had an anaphylactic reaction, it could be I'd walk into somewhere where they cleaned with something, or maybe something was freshly painted, or somebody was smoking a cigarette, and it would get so crazy so fast. My blood pressure would go in my shoes, my throat would close, my vocal cords would close, and I would black out. But I would have the whole thing with the numb, everything would swell, my tongue, my lips, everything. And it was really bad if it was a food allergy. So I would be taking that wonderful ride in the ER with the EpiPen hanging out of my leg. And sometimes it would take 2 to 3 EpiPens. And it would stress your heart out. So they're afraid you're going to have a heart attack. So I started waking up intubated in ICU too many times. And so that's when they put me on Xolair, and it ended all of that. I still sometimes had reactions and had anaphylaxis, but not like that. And not 3 to 4 times a week like I was having before, thank God. Why fake that? People are so weird. I don't know why she would fake that. It would be worth it for Shady Boy to get tore up by Dr. Phil in order to get that coin. Yeah, I think she should do it if she wants to make that coin, that clicks and coin. Why fake that? People are so weird. She's holding out for a documentary, I think, is what she's saying. I think that's kind of funny. I've been interviewed in the last year for 4 different documentaries. 2 of them are Gwen Shamblin ones. One of them was the Way Down. And I know that I didn't make that one because they asked me a question about Gwen's death, and I laughed in their faces and said they were on the wrong track. They were trying to say that maybe Gwen had enemies that bumped her off. And they asked me what I thought about that. I was just like, these people are not some kind of They're not some kind of super underworld spies or Hamas or any other group that would bump them off. I just don't see it. There may be a documentary about KJ, but it won't be flattering. Yes. Prairie, that well could be. And now I have mild reactions. I don't have the crazy life threatening ones. The last time I had a crazy life threatening one was the damn dog in the church. The dog that they decided that they would line up behind. They would let the person bring their emotional support dog in there. And I could watch the service from outside through the window or the door. And I said, nope. I doped out of there so quickly. And they still talk to my husband and say, how is it even possible to be that allergic to dog hair? It is. Most dog hair I'm fine with. It's just certain breeds that have longer, fluffier, fuzzier hair I sometimes will react to. Java Man, I think that's coming. Look at all of the lawsuits she's in. I don't see that somebody somewhere, some documentarian is going to look at that and go, ooh, that is gold. And it'll be every bit as disturbing as what was the one that started the guys on the MTV show? Catfish, the Catfish show. The way down didn't really seem accurate in the least. The minority was not given a voice, and the last half was boring. Yes, it was. Oh, Saturn. I wonder what's in Twizzlers that's giving you the problem. That is awful. But I know what that's like. I one time ate cantaloupe, which I loved, and had anaphylaxis suddenly out of the blue. The way down, it wasn't entirely accurate. I felt like they gave too short of a shrift of the voting way down, and they didn't handle it well. It was rather boring. And that's a shame because it's not boring. I would like them to discuss the fact that it looked like Gwen had developed her own eating disorder. I find that so disrespectful. Your medical situation is critical. Couldn't they emotionally handle themselves for a couple hours? Lexi, apparently not. And this woman was just a visitor. She was a temporary visitor to Tamarindo. She wasn't even a regular. But the way that the church handled this and handled me, Tamarindo Church, I was just done. That was for me. That was it. If you treat a regular member who's doing stuff like that, and also I was on worship team. How on earth was I supposed? I was just done. That was for me. That was it. If you treat a regular member who's doing stuff like that, and also I was on worship team. How on earth was I supposed to take the platform and sing if I could not even talk? Yeah, I never liked Twizzlers either. The other thing is that we attend churches on a voluntary basis. Java Man, they don't seem to understand that. I did a lot of stuff up there, from count the offering to sing on worship team. I helped out all over the place. My husband ran an entire ministry. And when we left, nobody filled those roles. My understanding of worship team now is it's one chick with a guitar. That's it. And used to be there like 10 of us in that band. Not now. It's a basic disrespect of your medical needs, and mine are well documented. The former pastor of the church kept dogs out because he saw me have a reaction one time during rehearsals to a dog somebody brought in. So he banned dogs from inside the building. And when they ran him off, and they did run him off, they treated him like crap. A decent guy, deeply decent. His sermons were good. He was quite loving. They ran him off, and he has left the church now. He is now studying to be a nurse. The next time I go through Virginia, I'm going to try to look him and his wife up. I still think that Todd should have played guitar at Rock and Roll Church. Java Man, if they were serious about Rock and Roll Church, he would have been, if he had any kind of skills, they would have tried to get him to do that. And it's never called Rock and Roll Church. I've been on worship teams for years. I've never heard it called Rock and Roll Church. Never, never, never. And This goes back like 25 years or something. He would have been playing guitar because it's hard to find people who are skilled enough for some of these churches for the worship teams. And it just is. And it's kind of funny. The church I was going now to, they were giving me a hassle. So I said, yeah, okay, I'll sing on worship team. I won't play an instrument, but I guess I'll sing because they didn't have very many singers. The ones they had weren't the most on key. I'm just going to come out and say, I walked in the first day I was scheduled to sing. They had just repainted all the trim in the church, and I found myself unable to breathe. I told the leader, I said, I cannot be in a room that has just been painted. I turned around and left, and I haven't been back except one time, but I'm not doing worship team anymore. I'm old. But Todd should have definitely have played guitar in rock and roll church. He should have. He should have done that. And their church experience might have gone way differently if he had made himself irreplaceable. So her church experience that she keeps taking from other people. It's kind of funny because we had talked about it a number of times when we were still in contact. And what she told me her church experience was so different than mine. And basically what she said was that they joined the church hoping to get financial, emotional, and practical support, and were not given that support, so they left. And that they had done a ton of Sunday school and that sort of thing. She makes everybody's stories hers. That's the sad thing. Hey Jan, you missed it. This guy came on gangbusters, but he wasn't. But he tried too quickly to push me to chat. That didn't work. Hey Norma Jean, you missed it too. We had a live one on the line before he tried to push me too soon to. And here's the funny thing about him: he was claiming to be a doctor with the U.S. military in Sweden, where we do not have troops, or only in the last year we did one joint operation with the Swedish. So she was probably mostly interested in the financial support. Java Man, I believe that is true. I believe that once nobody stepped up to babysit for them, give them money and other things, I think that was it. Yeah, Norma Jean, Sweden. And he claimed to be from Berlin, but I started asking him questions about Berlin, where I have been because I lived in Germany for some years. Before everybody got here, I started asking about Berlin, and he didn't know a damn thing about Berlin. I tried to ask him what kind of doctor he was. He said he was a general doctor, but that he was in charge of all the other doctors. Yes, T King, do all the YouTubey things. I'm sorry, I'm half awake this morning. Don't bully anybody. Don't even bully Nigerians. Just be funny with them. Don't bully KJ. She has her own messes to deal with right now. Or Toad even for molesting his cupcakes. I swear he put me off cupcakes forever with that video. And I see he's trying to do his Von Art guitars. He needs to have something of his own, obviously. Stop having intelligence. Yeah. Yeah. Sweden may be joining NATO, so that may change in the future. Java Man, I know that. And once I saw articles that we had done winter maneuvers with them in 2021, and then they're doing this NATO thing. Here's the thing about NATO. NATO exists specifically, I'm going to say specifically like I'm a Nigerian now, because of Russia, the extreme threat that Russia poses. And for countries who border Russia, it makes absolute sense for them to join NATO. I'm kind of shocked they're not already members of NATO. But I think that if Sweden joins NATO, that it's going to make Putin lose his damn mind, if he hasn't already lost his damn mind. My husband is a big diplomacy guy, and he keeps saying, oh, I wish I'd just talked to Putin. I said, how do you talk to crazy? You can't talk to delusional people. Delusional people will think what delusional people will think. And there's not a lot you can do with them. Would you have talked to Hitler? mean, I give him a hard time all the time. Last night I was giving him a hard time because instead of watching Tucker, he watched Tucker and then Sean Hannity. And I am not a fan of the talking heads on either side. I'm just going to say that. Finland is the big one. Yes, Java man. I'm seeing that. There's no reasoning with Putin. No way. There is no reasoning with him. Absolutely. Absolutely. So I'm kind of curious to see what's going to happen. People did talk to Hitler. It didn't turn out so well. No, it didn't. I know that because I forgot which prime minister of Great Britain went and talked to them, and it didn't go well. They said one thing, they did something completely different. History is fascinating. I mean, everything tries to repeat itself. And, my kids are freaking out about this. They asked me for a complete set of keys to this joint so that if they have to take a flight out of there, and we're not around, or we're in Arnall or in our house we're going to build up in the mountains, that they can get in here safely and easily. And the codes to all the burglar alarms. So I'm going to have to do that. When I leave to go to my daughter's wedding, I have sets of keys and gate openers for all of them. Neville Chamberlain. That's exactly right. Neville Chamberlain. I need more coffee. So I don't know what's going to happen with this world. And I don't know about you guys, but it scares the crap out of me. I mean, we left the States because we didn't like some things we were seeing, and how, not either side. I'm just talking about in general. Just a moderate. It's not an enviable position. It's hard to be a moderate. And I say that even though I consider myself pretty much middle of the road moderate. It's not an easy position. And it's like right now with this whole Supreme Court decision where they're talking about overturning Roe versus Wade. While I think abortion is awful and I would never do it, I cannot tell anybody else they can't do that because there's so many circumstances in life where it would be fitting. Meanwhile, Trump thought that China was firing a hurricane gun at us. Yes, and he said he was going to use nuclear bombs to break up hurricanes. I don't know if that's ever been done. I don't know if it had any kind of effect. It'd be interesting to do that out in the middle of the ocean, nowhere near anybody, and a typhoon to see what happens, but it wouldn't be a responsible thing to do, I can tell you right now. And so the whole world is just in a state of complete crazy right now. So we have our own little crazy here with KJ. So that always makes me laugh about her and some of the things she's doing every day. And lately, some of the stuff she's done is not laugh worthy, where she's starting to read all those court documents, all those depositions, poor Duggar girls, and then the deposition of Josh's ex. It's awful. No one should be exploiting people who are teenagers or younger who are having to deal with a brother who molested them. A hurricane releases the amount of energy of a hydrogen bomb every 20 seconds. Ooh, I didn't know that, Java man, but I am not surprised, having lived through a few rather intense hurricanes in Louisiana. Hurricane Betsy. I'm a leftist. Back to KJ, yeah. Oh, we'll make it radioactive, though. Yeah, I kind of thought there would be some negative consequences, even though it did seem kind of childish, like let's have ray guns to shoot down missiles. Yeah, that program didn't do real well either. So you just got to have some. Yeah, she has, Prairie. And I think that if the Duggars were to sue her, this would be it. This would be the reason to sue her. This would be extremely the reason to sue her. This would be the reason for Kaylee to sue her. And I'm just amazed that Jim Bob Duggar is not, because of all the crap I used to get for just using photos at patios. How many times I got a cease and desist over that. Reading these court documents is not appropriate. It is not. If you want to read them and then summarize them and say, yeah, it was pretty bad, you can look at the documents yourself here. That's one thing. But to sit there and read the depositions aloud, that is just, I'm still not sure why the court did not seal that, because these are depositions of people that were harmed when they were children. It's not appropriate. Not appropriate at all. And this whole time has been very triggering to me because of my time at a children's residential treatment center, working with children who were used in CP. Yeah, I'd like to see Kaylee Holt clean her financial clock too. And I think that Robert Shin may have a decent case, which kind of makes me sad because Robert Shin's church, Shekinah Church, is linked to churches that I know are the CULT. So I'm not even taking a side there. Was she smiling when she was reading them? Java Man, my understanding is that she was smiling a fair amount. And we know that she does that. When she's talking about CP, she's talking about SA, she starts smiling. She starts acting like she's gleeful. You know, when those things happen, I start feeling like I am not just 61, turning 62. I start feeling like I'm 161 because I'm looking at these things and going, what the hell? What the hell? Why are you doing that? KJ's financial clock is probably running low as of late. Oh, yes, I'm sure it is. She's got all these different lawsuits on all these different fronts. And I'm sorry, but I don't think Graham Cracker has the experience to be handling her in any of these things. KJ certainly wasn't treating the subject matter with the gravity it deserves. And she was smiling. It makes me question her motive. Why does she smile about CSA material? Because it excites her. It does. They may be down to one Bentley, maybe a half a Bentley, I'd say. She still has a platform to lose. I think that Todd Chrisley's going to ask for that platform. I just have a sneaking suspicion. And as much as I think Todd's words about having a class action lawsuit are a bunch of hooey, and I think they are, I think that it was one of those things that he thought it was going to be a good idea. And then when they started looking at the people who might have a claim and said, yeah, no, this is going to not work. We can't follow this. But rather than actually coming out and saying that, they've just kind of left it dangling in limbo. And some people are going, oh, yeah, we're going to have a class action lawsuit. I don't see it. I don't see it. I don't see it. I hope I'm wrong, but I don't see it. But Todd is in such a, he's so angry at her that it's not going to go well. It's not going to go well for her at all. Because unlike Tati, he's not going to want to settle. He has put up with her defaming him all the way back to Pathos. She wrote the first of her articles about the sex tape blackmailing and the sexual proclivities way back on Pathos, all the way back. And if I remember right, I think they're on the Wayback Machine. There are a number of her writings that are on the Wayback Machine that you can still access, even though Pathos removed everything. I don't think she messed up enough for a class action. It would have to be a lot more people. Java Man, I agree. And, you know, I emailed the lawyers who were doing that 3 different occasions, and I've heard nothing back. And I think of just about everybody, but maybe Steve McRae, that I have a good case because she's plagiarized so much, and I can lay it out and show on this date she said this. She took it from this piece that I wrote in Pathos 6 years before. So there's that. But I'm not going to sue her individually because it would be a money pit. And I'm very funny about what I spend my money on. I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. I tend to be rather tight with a buck unless it's something of some really good quality. And I try to make it work. I picked up those habits of thrift when I was raising my children and putting money aside for their college. The hardest years of my life were the years that we had both kids in college at the exact same time. It was incredibly expensive. So this is actually being able to live like this and not have to really worry about anything is it's bliss. I don't have to think when I go to the grocery store. Okay, so and so next needs X amount of money this month for their dorm room and their food and stuff. So and so needs X amount of dollars for their apartment. So there has to be a lot more people. I really think there has to be way more people than we have right now for that. I think it would also help if people had the same suit against her. As of now, every suit would still be unique, which would make class action problematic. I don't doubt that one bit because most people, it's stuff like she's talked bad about them. Like I said, mine is a little bit different because it's been plagiarized. She's plagiarized my writings a tremendous amount. She's plagiarized a few of my videos. I can prove it. It's not a matter of me thinking about it. It's not me thinking, oh, well, maybe I should. No, I've got dates and times. So that would be really the best, but it would have to be a lot more people. What do you guys make of her taking out her frustrations at Tough Topic? Tough Topic covered the release of those documents pre Katie Joy, but Katie Joy is claiming that Tough Topic is taking from her. Thank you, Norma Jean. Thank you so much for my yarn fun. Thanks you. Hey, just saying. So, yeah, how you like that lover? He was a crazy one. He was possibly one of the craziest I've had in a long time. Most of them start slower than he did. He went right to it. Remember, KJ own. Yeah, she thinks she owns all of the content. And the thing is, she doesn't. And you're always going to have multiple people talking about the same things all the time. I think that's one of the things that I have the most frustration with her people when they show up here and they start making excuses for her. If she was just like everybody else and just reporting on the same things, yeah, she thinks that she owns them. She does not. They are freely available. They were on the Reddit subreddit, the Duggar snark, originally before she ever reported on them. She claims she owns everything. Good Lord. KJ Steele's Tough Topic and others content all the time. Our only source is every other Duggar channel. Exactly. And she assumes all of these creators watch her. Exactly. I never watch her. I watch her only when Llama Girl does clips. That's it. And even then, sometimes I just do a giant eye roll and go past because ain't nobody got time for that. Now, at least I don't have time for that. I don't know about you guys, but I don't have time for that. I got other stuff going on in my life and I don't have time to sit online, and I still have videos from yesterday I need to look at. Plus Reddit. Exactly. Okay, so I've been here a full hour. I'm getting ready to start fading. My voice is going. My husband's off at his men's group, and he should be coming back in the next 15 or 20 minutes. And I have to get dressed for Costco. Costco here is called Price Mart. It's all Kirkland brand, everything. We love it. We love it. Now that they've opened one within an hour of us instead of 5 hours away, it's been the best thing ever here in Costa Rica. I can get decent sheets. I got my lovely comforter. So many things that I've been able to get here that the quality was so bad. Yeah, she is online all the time, Java Man, and it looks to me like it's family avoidance while pretending that she's a journalist. I'm a journalist now. And the sad thing is under Minnesota's own definitions of what a journalist reporter is, she actually fits. Just saying. Yeah, Costco hates it. My wallet hates it too, but guess what? And I tend to spend. The last time I was there, I bought a new iPad, and it's been the best thing ever. Because I don't know what happened to Amazon Kindles. I got one of the early ones. It was great. I had it like 8 or 9 years before it died. Then it started turning into a yearly replacement of the Kindle. So it's back to my iPad again to read books. So there you go. Any reason not to be a mom? You're exactly right. Any reason not to deal with her husband, to be joyfully unavailable. How would you like to have that be your moniker, joyfully unavailable? It says something good about Todd, that he is not strayed to having an affair and he is not turned to an online flirtation, regardless of what Julie Gagne was trying to say. To be that true blue and to have somebody that denies you any kind of intimacy is either admirable or deeply disturbing. I can't decide which one it is now, but who knows? Todd has been coming back in the community and he has been talking to various people. And now I've gotten aware, if I see he's in somebody's comments, I just won't comment there anymore, because it stops being a safe place to talk, because Todd will be there and he'll be all over your comments, which we've seen. If I was joyfully unavailable, my husband would be joyfully filing for divorce, just saying yes, even as old as I am and as old as my husband is. Oh my word, if I told him, hey, I'm not having sex with you, I'm just kind of done with this, I'm joyfully unavailable now, it would not go well. And I think it would eventually end up in a divorce, because that's really part of marriage. It's part of happy marriage, at least, I think. And if something happens and you're sick or whatever, okay. And that goes both ways. But most of the time, there's no reason to say no. He hasn't strayed that we know about. Absolutely, Java Man. Maybe he has strayed, but if he has, he's done it in such a careful way that we're not seeing it. And that's pretty amazing, because I would have expected him by now to pull a Julie Gagne. And the fact there's no chatter about that tells me a lot. So, okay, you guys, I'm going to go ahead and go. I'm going to go into my day. I got to go to Costco, got to buy sheets, got to do, I'm looking for I always have a list of things that I'm looking for. Got to hit the Do It Center. The Do It Center is Costa Rica's craziest thing. It's this huge hardware store where they have everything under the sun, but maybe not all at the same time. So you have to go there and filter through their piles of crap. It's more like an Ollie's or a discount place, but for hardware and various weird things. I even sometimes see Cajun injector products there and see the giant crawfish boilers and things. It just makes me laugh. If she is online all the time, I doubt she would notice. I'm sure she wouldn't. So I have my giant list of things that I'm getting ready to go. Y'all have a great day. And if you hit Nigerians, I think next time I'm going to have a new strategy. I am going to be as romantic back as they are to me and see what happens. See exactly what happens. Love you guys.